This and all talks at the 2020 JavaScript for WordPress conference are brought to you in part by our sponsors Frontity and GoDaddy Pro. Frontity is the easiest way to create performant websites using WordPress and React. It connects both seamlessly so you can focus on building your site instead of all the tooling and configuration. Open source and free to use. GoDaddy Pro Hosting offers a robust suite of free tools to web developers and designers to help them save time managing all their clients and sites. Your free membership also includes advanced 24/7 technical support.
Hello everyone. I'm very happy to be here and sharing some stuff about reusable Gutenberg blogs. So my name is Justin Ahinon, and I like to call myself as someone who do things with WordPress. So in my day job, I do freelance gigs for small companies and small business in my country, and I usually am like really big fan of WordPress contribution. So I contribute a lot to WordPress core and WordPress documentation team. So basically the last 2 years I've led WordPress 5.2.2, actually co-led with two co-release leads, and also led the documentation for WordPress 5.3. And right now we are working on WordPress 5.5 that's going out something like mid of August. So I'm also coordinating the technical documentation for this version. So that's all about me. And you can quickly reach out to me on Twitter. It's basically the platform where I'm the most active and I quickly reply to people asking me for things. So today, as I say, we're going to talk about reusable work with Gutenberg. And the first thing you ask when I talk to you about reusable blocks is, what are they actually and how do they work? And you have to know that reusable Gutenberg block is one of the hidden part of Gutenberg. So they are not, it's not like very visible like you see a post or you see a page. So it's kind of hidden in, yeah, you can totally use Gutenberg for months or maybe years without knowing that there's something like that that exists in the core editor. So basically, the functionality of reusable blocks have been introduced in the very first versions of Gutenberg, so early in the development, so around 1.7.0. So yeah, one of the first version. And what the developers want to achieve with reusable blocks is the possibility for users to create a block, save these blocks, and reuse them in many other contexts. So you create a block, maybe a button block, you save it, and then you can use it in articles, you can use it in pages or in custom post tips or even in templates. So that's the general idea behind Gutenberg reusable blocks. So, and basically I've set up a quick demo about how it works and how you could quickly create a Gutenberg block and what you can achieve with it and how you can build very complex layouts using it. So I'm going to show you my screen, like my computer screen. So I have a small test WordPress site right here with WordPress 5.4.2. That's the last published release. So here I'm on a page, and let's suppose that I'm creating something like a button. So I create a simple button, so something like that. And the easiest way, I mean, the most obvious way to add this button as a reusable block is just to click on the three dots that's right here, and then you have add to reusable blocks toggle that's here. So just click on it and save as the block has been created. So that's the simplest way to create a reusable block. So I can do the same thing with paragraph. So I can create a simple paragraph like this. Then I add it to reusable block. Then I can add a name. Is and it works with bringing many blocks together, so I can have more than one block that I can use as a reusable. So let's say I have maybe some text here. So text, and then just after the text, I have something like a let's say a Gutenberg here. So I can simply do something like I wrap these two blocks together in a group. Then I can add this group as a reusable group. So reusable, simple. So here's how it works. So right now you may be wondering, so yeah, I'm just grouping things and naming them. So yeah, what's the benefit of using them? So what it means exactly is that when you save a block, you save a reusable block, you can do this process of saving it from either a post or a page or a custom post tip or another type of content that works with WordPress. So this could be a single post, a single page, or stuff like that. And what's the most interesting? I mean, one of the most interesting things about this plot is that you can manage them from a single place. So, for instance, when I have just created two blocks, and it's possible to manage them from a single interface. So basically, you can edit, you can delete, you can rename. Everything you do with posts, you can do it. You can do it with reusable blocks. So the reason why I'm saying that the feature is maybe hiding in the WordPress editor is that it doesn't appear somewhere like directly when you install a fresh version of WordPress. You don't have something like a menu item to tell you that, yeah, here's the result blog page. So there's not something like that. So you have to go in the edition page, I mean, the back end of the Gutenberg post, and then you click on the three dots at the top right corner, and you have an option like item here name manage all reusable blocks. So this option will take you to the page where you have all the blocks that you are creating. So I already create some blocks here, but let's find those that yeah. So here are the two last that I created last week. So the same paragraph block and the same group block. And as I said, you can delete them, you can edit them, you can even export them to JSON. So basically, you can build a reusable block in one site and then export them and import it in another site. So with this button, import from JSON. So when you click on export as JSON, it's provides you with a JSON file with all the blocks, I mean, all the content of the blocks. So you can directly import them in another website. So, yeah. And one thing that's also very interesting, yeah, I know when I start talking about blocks and reusable blocks, I'm all the time excited because every day I found new things about it, and yeah, the possibilities are really endless. So one thing interesting about these blocks is that they are saved in a custom post-it, a WordPress custom post-it. So basically, you have a post-it that's named WP-blog, and that contains all the reusable blocks. So whenever you save a block from a page, like we did here, it's saved in a custom post-it that's named WP. So, and because of that, you have all the possibility that custom post-it offer with WordPress. So basically, you can display them in templates, you can display them in widgets or footer, or, I mean, everything. You can do everything with them. So yeah. So one other interesting aspect of these blocks that they are synchronized. So basically what that means is that these blocks that I created, so the sample button work. So first, let's delete all these. What I'm going to do is, yeah, I'm going to delete all those. Okay, and I'm going to create uh, a button and call it sample, something like that. And then I'll select this button and add it as reusable. So let's call it reusable. Once I did this, it will be available here. I can edit it here. You also know that you can do this process of creating the block from here. So what you have to do is just show you. I'm going to delete it. You have the add new button here. So basically you can add like disable button. And then you have your button here. And you publish it like any other custom post. Then it will be available here. And I was talking about the synchronization that exists between a block, a reusable block that is created, and all the parts or all the pages, all the posts where the block is located. So what it means in action is that right here I'm on a page, and let's say that I add my reusable block. So all the reusable block that you created are available under a type, a block type that's called reusable. And then you can add your block like here. And obviously it will be visible in front end. But what's interesting is that whenever you modify this one, so let's say uh, not so simple, but whenever you modify it, it's going to be modified also here. So it basically works as template or template parts when you are doing WordPress theme development. And as I said, you can add them in post, in page, in custom post tips. So right here, I'm going to add post. I'm going to find my button, save it, and open this post. So here's the post, here's the page. So what I'm going to do is edit here. Okay. And what's going to happen is that the block will be modified here and also updated here. So that's one of the most interesting aspects of this kind of blocks. And you can also decide that, so obviously it won't be so much useful if you just have to put them here and you just can't modify them. So yeah, it doesn't make sense. So you can also delete the synchronization between this block and his parent. I'll call his parent that's here. So basically, you just have to convert it to regular block, and you can, yeah, regular block. Yeah, and obviously it should be modified. So, oh, I was on the page here, and when I will modify it here, not going to be updated on the page because I already delayed the synchronization that exists between the block and its parent that's here. So when you come at this point, you can just think about all the possibilities that you can achieve doing that. So we're going to move ahead a little bit. So I prepared a demo as we already did it. So what I'm going to show you now is how powerful this feature is. So right now we just create a simple button reusable block or a simple what test reusable block, but you can just think about everything you can do with it. So one of the most common parts in a website is the header arrow section. So that's the first section that the visitor see when he land on your website. So let's suppose that we have this kind of hero section on the home page and any other, other page in the website. So what we are going to do is create, great, create a hero header section that will be a reusable group that we'll be using on many other pages. So when you come to this point, you can start seeing how powerful the feature is and what are the possibilities you can do with it. So I'm going to add a header here reusable, and obviously it's going to be available here. So right now it's still in publish mode, so I'm going to publish it. Great. So let's just imagine what we are going to do. We want to create this simple header block. So I just want a background image and some text around, and yeah, a big title and a button, something like a call to action. So what I used to do is with Gutenberg, when I want to build something that's more than one block, so I want to build, for instance, a header arrow or a call to action or stuff like that, I instead rely on groups. Instead of building each part of the section itself, I create a group, and in the group, I wrap all of the blocks that I want to have. So, what the group block appeared in WordPress 5.3, and basically it allows people to wrap many blocks in one block. Then you can style this block again and again. So, I'm going to create a group block, and inside this group block, I'm going to add cover. So the WordPress cover block that you can use to build your section. And then I'll add a background image. So I already have some images in my major library. I'm going to upload them. And what I'm going to do is enable the full width feature for this one. It's something like this. Great. So I'm going to add the title. So it will be something like hero section. Obviously, this is going to be editable in all the pages when I'm going to place it. So yeah. So I'll have the hero section title. I'll align the text left and add a button. So this will be the action. Great. Make it pause. And what else? Let me make the background black and disable the border radius. Cool. So I already have something like a hero section. Yeah, I know it's kind of basic, but yeah, I think it's going to do the work. Now I'm going to open a page. So I'm creating a new one. Let's name it home page maybe. And then I'm going to add a reusable header here. So I have it like this, so I can save it, publish it, and open it. So it's here. What I'm going to do is convert it to regular Gutenberg blocks and then say something like welcome to this wonderful website. And yes. So I'm also going to create another page. So let's go back here, a new page. Maybe this one will be the layout page. And also I'm going to add your feeder block and convert it to regular block. And say introduce reusable blocks. So we basically have a layout that we put into the reusable block feature, and that we are sharing. I mean, between many pages or many posts or whatever. And yeah, so here's how it works. So yeah, you can just imagine what else we can do with it. We can do call to action, we can build authors blog, we can build, I don't know, newsletter blog, or stuff like that. So I have, let's go this one. So this is the hero header blog. I also built a author post. I mean the post author block. So basically at the end of all the posts you may want to add something like a card with information about the person who published the post. Oh, it's like this one is still in draft mode. No, it's already published. So I'm going to create a post author. So basically what this one is going to do is to add a small section at the end of all the posts with basic information about the author. So here again, I'm going to start with a group. And in this group, I'm going to have some columns. And yeah, take this one. Maybe I'll make this column into the bigger, let's say 70%. So right here, I'm going to have some text. I'm dropping. So I want to have a little bit more content. So I'm going to pass some content from the post that I already have here. Yeah, I have this one. So I just want some content to make it consistent. So paragraph like this. And here I'm going to add an image block that's going to contain a nice state of mind. Yeah, something like this. So now let's add it into a page. Let's say maybe in the post. This one. Yeah. So let's say I have some content right here. And at the end of the post, I want to add the author. So it's like I haven't saved or I haven't published it yet. Wait. So normally it should be available here. And here I go. So yeah, right now it doesn't look too much nice. So I'm going to add some style in it. So maybe change the background color here. Yeah. I usually use the WordPress brand color. So let's make this white. This one also. So obviously you can add other styles to it. So you can add a style, a CSS class to the group section itself. So something like author box. Yeah. And then you can use the CSS class to style your blog however you want. So it should be great. So you can maybe add some padding to this. To 3 padding, yeah, something like that. Just a start. And the last one we're going to create now is the call to action. So basically what I want is, yeah, obviously a group first and some tests. So have you enjoyed reading this book? Here I'm going to add something. And again, I'm going to start yellow, make this one center, and yeah, this black and sorry, make this one also center. Okay, now I can publish it, and inside my posts, I'm going to add this text. Right here, I'm going to add, so I'm going to add it here, and obviously you can also style it, maybe add some padding around, yeah, and do everything you want. So that's a few blocks that I want us to dig into and see what we can really do. We can even go further and do something like building a complex layout. Maybe inside the website you have something like text. Right here you have some text. Here in media, you can see that you have it like this and like this. So oh, I'm still taking conversion. Okay, I'm going to add some space. The first, oh, that's weird. Oh, it's a post. Actually, I was looking for a reusable block. Make it post. Copy this. So right here in my post, you have and it's going to display in my post. And obviously, I can decide to remove the synchronization and edit the content directly. So basically, that's some basic blocks that you can build with the feature. And it's also possible to go deeper inside the feature, the reusable block feature. So right now, we are just limited to creating blocks and yeah, maybe edit them and post pass them into page and yeah, stuff like that. But imagine you want to add something maybe let's say this call to action block or this post auto block, you want to add it automatically at the end of all the posts without having to do it manually. So you can either use this WP block custom posting functionality and make a WP query and query these blocks and display them in your template. But there's also a nice plugin that has been made by a member of the French WordPress community, Baptiste. And basically, it allows you to add an interface, like a visual interface. So basically, when you activate the plugin name is Reusable Block Extended. It adds the Reusable Block menu into your dashboard. So now we don't have to go here and come here before having this option. You have it directly inside your dashboard. And apart from that, you have some other, it's kind of software change the reusable block functionality and add some custom function, interesting functionalities to it. So basically, you can see in how many posts your block has been put. So this one has been put in one post, this one is one post. And most interesting, you can have some, yeah, it's very nice plugin. You can directly have the shortcode of the reusable block and use it wherever you want. So right now, not all the interfaces of WordPress ecosystem, I mean plugins and themes use Gutenberg. So there are some themes that doesn't allow Gutenberg. There are some plugins that doesn't allow Gutenberg. So you can use the shortcode feature and pass them directly where you want. Obviously, you can do it like with code, yeah, writing your own code in your child theme function.php file. But yeah, I just find it much easier to copy them directly from here and pass them wherever I want. So let's say there's something I want to display in a widget. So first, let's see if my theme doesn't do widgets. I'm using Hello Elementor theme. So I'm going to use 2016. This one is many widgets part. So let's open it. But now I'm going to which one? Okay, let's say I want to add some widgets on this page. So I'm going to go in the customizer. And then in the widget part in the sidebar, I'm going to add test widget, and inside this test widget, I'm going to pass the standards of code. Let's choose another one. That's my code. Okay. So let's take the call to action. Oh, it's too much complex. Okay, the button. Pass it here. I'm going to have my button here as a widget. So yeah, that's a cool functionality. And one thing that I recently discovered that I can do with reusable block is that I can use dynamic content. So instead of having just some static content like this one, I can go future and create a last post, like recent post. I know WordPress already have one, but I want to experiment maybe a new one like a recent post. So I'm going to use the latest post for it. And should I add maybe a set? If I do not have featured image, let's limit it to 3. Okay, I'm going to publish it. And I'll have it here as a short code. So I'm going to pass to copy this short code. I'm going to have my recent post, which is in style as I want. So that's a brief overview of what you can achieve with reusable blocks. And yeah, so as I said, you also have the possibility to display them in templates using directly the function provided by this plugin. So you just have to echo this function in your PHP file or in your template file, and yeah, it's going to display the block wherever you want it. So yeah, and I think that's it. And I'm going to stop this venture. Right. So yeah, if you guys have some questions.
Yes, we have a few that have come in. I'll read you a few of them, and then there might be some more in the chat. The first one, you may have answered this, but is there a good way to allow a reusable block to be modified on reuse without changing all instances of it? I've seen where users will forget to convert the block before editing.
So just to be clear, you want to know how you can modify the block without modifying all its instances.
They want to edit a part of a reusable block without changing the other instances because people forget to convert it to a block before editing it.
Okay, so I think I briefly talked about this feature. Let me just share again the screen. So if I understand well what you're asking, when you have, for instance, let's say this block, this post auto block, let's use it in another post. So we have it in two posts. So I'm going to down here. Here, this one. So I'm adding the post auto block. So if I went to, so right now the post auto block is available in two posts. If I want to edit it, I just have to directly edit the the block itself in the visible block interface. And this change is going to be visible in all the posts where the block is added. I don't know if what's asking or not.
Yeah, I think that they might mean the opposite of that, where you have a reusable block, but in one instance you want to change just that instance. Or do you have to convert it to a block before you edit it?
Oh, okay. So yeah, you need to convert it to let's pause again, to a regular block first. But you can, after making your edit, so let's say I have to edit this one in particular, you can also reconvert it to a reusable block. So, and then you have a new one.
Okay.
But yeah, I don't think there's a possibility to edit the block, an instance of the block, without converting it first to a regular Gutenberg block.
Okay, great. The next question here is, how would you create or modify a reusable block in code? Is there a framework for that?
Oh, so right now I'm not aware of a possibility to modify it directly in post, but I definitely think that's something that would be possible because the reusable blocks are a custom posted. So all the operations you used to do with custom posted going to work with reusable blocks. So right now I'm not aware of a plugin or a framework or an API that's able to do something like that.